Hey guys, Tunic is here. Today I'm kind of giving like a progress report on my brand new game. And so, for those unaware, if you haven't seen my last video or anything, this is essentially like a new sandbox tycoon that I've been working on. It's going to be a lot like the game Factorio. If you've never played that before, it's like a resource management base building type of game that's just super extensive and everything. You kind of colonize your world and everything. So yeah, today I'm here to just like cover some of the changes, give some more information, that sort of thing, because it has been a really long time since I've updated you guys on this project, and I've been hard at work on it. So yeah, if you've seen the last video, probably the most striking change so far is the landscape. So instead of just a giant base plate now, we actually have terrain everywhere. We have resources in the ground. You can kind of interact with these resources, collect stuff, that sort of thing. It's pretty cool. And so yeah, that's pretty interesting. And it even actually like this isn't really like fake 2D or anything. This game's legitimately 3D. Like as you can see right here, you can just sort of stack things up. I have these ramps here, and say if I wanted to link my resources down there with the ones up here, I could just use these. Connect it. So that's pretty interesting. It's actually like a 3D sort of tycoon. Has multiple platform support and everything. So yeah, I think that's pretty interesting. It even has a map where yeah, you can does what you'd expect. You can see all the resources in the world and everything. If you highlight over them and all. It isn't the prettiest thing, but it gets the job done. So yeah, and so yeah, as you can see here, I just kind of have items placed everywhere, and yeah, I just like in the last video, I kind of just spammed all this stuff here so I could display like the extensive scale of a game like this. So essentially, the whole design philosophy, that I've been focused on in this game is to make sure that everything can operate, with like hundreds of it placed and all. So you can see I just have so many of these ores everywhere, these various resources, I just have hundreds of items placed all around here. And yeah, it performs fairly well, even on lower end PCs and everything. So yeah, um, yeah, like I was saying, the whole idea here is to ensure that users are able to basically place as much as they want. That's what a sandbox is after all. You should basically be able to do whatever you want. So with that in mind, I've designed a custom ore system. So like you can see these here, they kind of move a little bit weird, and that's because they aren't actually Roblox physics. These are simulated by myself to be really efficient and everything. And so yeah, with optimizations like that, and you can see like items and all just sort of cut away that are really far away, that'll allow people to just build these giant worlds and everything and not have to worry about lagging really badly. So yeah, it's definitely a merit to a game like this, is the extensive scale and everything. Just grab some resources right here. So yeah, aside from that, other changes that have been made is I showed off the crafting system in the last video, and essentially a feature that I've added, it's found in Factorio as well, to kind of like keep the gameplay under control as a research type of system here. So essentially the whole point of it is that like you can't just craft something out of nowhere, if you have the materials, you need to first unlock the recipe. So you can do that through here. I kind of have it set up with a test case, and so it'll kind of be like my game will be structured with the whole concept of ages, like you start off in pre-industrial, and once you research enough stuff in that, you can progress to industrial. So it'll sort of be a way of like categorizing worlds, based off how far they've gone. I just think it's it helps the player, progress through the game and everything, so you're not just like thrown out into the Wild West. So yeah, that's definitely an interesting feature of that. And may as well, I was thinking, since I have all these items placed down, I can just show some of the new items off, So we have stuff like inserters. Well, actually, a lot of this isn't running because it's really far backed up. We've got full conveyors and such, but we have items like the factory. And pretty much the whole point here is that you can take this and you can just choose a recipe, and as long as it has those materials, then it'll be able to create it. So if we just look in here, we can choose something like this. Or, yeah, we can craft all sorts of things in here. Power lines, chests, windmills. Yeah, it's really just as long as it has the recipe available, then it can craft it. So, yeah, it's a pretty interesting item. And, yeah, I really want to show off the electric extractor because I really like the animation for it. So if we just go right over here. So you can see this thing is kind of like the spinny thing. So this is essentially like, it's an electric version of this burner extractor item right here. So that means you don't have to feed it coal. So yeah, it'll just rip items out of the ground. Pretty useful, actually. It's not running right now. Not much is running right now because I haven't really done anything with the resources. They're all just kind of backed up in my world. But yeah. So if we go over here, we can see another new item that I've added. You can also see the nice little trees that are generated and everything. You really just start to see how fully built this world is right now. You can kind of see stuff like loading in, you know, the level of detail system just to keep the game nice and performant. Yeah, this is one of my favorite new items right here. It's essentially a tree cutter. So it takes wood, cuts it. Let's just clear out some of these so we can see it go. See that? You can see it kind of doing its little animation and everything. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, anyway, this video is kind of dragging on. So yeah, the takeaway, really what's important to know is that I'm going to try to launch this game into its little paid alpha state basically by the end of September. So that's anywhere from now to October 1st, you know, I guess we'll say. And yeah, I know I said in my last video that I'd try to push this into alpha in August, but I kind of like missed a deadline as school started up, so now I can't spend as much time as I'd like to on this project, you know. But I mean, that's fine. I still have time, you know, but it's just going to take a little bit longer than I previously expected. So yeah, you guys can expect this game to launch into alpha anywhere from now till October 1st. I might do some tester recruitment or something like that. So definitely remember to subscribe, keep up to date with the Tuning Studios community and everything. Definitely give me feedback in the comments, you know, let me know what you think about a game like this, whether you like it, what you'd like to see in the game, that sort of thing. I really value you guys' feedback. And I guess I'll see you guys soon.